Good morning, everyone. My name is Gab, and I'll be presenting the cry of Bahay Toro by Santiago Alvarez.
Introduction. The Cry of 1896 is widely remembered as the spark that ignited the Filipino Revolution against Spanish colonial rule. While most historical accounts focus on the events in Balintawak or Pugadlawin, Santiago Alvarez, a Katipunero from Cavite, offers a lesser-known yet valuable perspective. Although he was not an eyewitness, his narrative reflects how the spirit of revolution spread beyond Manila and united the Filipinos from different regions. Background of Santiago Alvarez. Santiago Alvarez Y. Veritas, or was known by his nickname, Kidlat ng Apoy, was not just an ordinary rider. He was a Katipunan leader from Cavite, the son of Mariano Alvarez, and a relative of Gregoria de Jesus, the wife of Andres Bonifacio. Although he was not physically present at the cry in Balintawak or Pugadlawin, his account still carries importance because it reflects how the revolutionary spirit spread to other provinces. Setting of his narrative. Unlike the usual account set in Balintawak or Pugadlawin, Alvarez placed the events on Bahay Toro, Sampalucan, at the barn of Melchora Tandang Sora Aquino. He described the gathering not on a single date but two crucial days, August 3 and 24 in 1896. Sunday, August 23, 1896. The gathering begins. Alvarez writes that as early as 10 a.m., around 500 Katipuneros had already assembled. These men were ready armed and determined to follow Bonifacio, whom they called the Supremo. Even without being an eyewitness, Alvarez paints an emotional picture that tension among the men, their readiness to risk their lives, and their complete loyalty to Katipunan, because this shows that even before any document was torn or cry was shouted, the revolution had already begun in their hearts. Monday, August 24, 1896, the spirit of unity. By the next day, the number had doubled to around 1,000 Katipuneros. A meeting led by Bonifacio was held inside the barn starting at 10 a.m. Alvarez highlights the seriousness of this assembly. It was during this moment that Katipuneros affirmed their decision not to surrender but to fight. They understood the danger but still chose sacrifice over silence. At exactly 12 noon, the meeting ended with powerful shouts of "Mabuhay ang mga anak ng bayan." Historical debate. Is it cap or fact? Some historians argue that Alvarez's version is less reliable because he did not witness the event himself. However, his narrative remains valuable for one important reason, because it shows that the cry was not a single event but a revolutionary were echoing in different places, believed by different people yet all shouting for the same freedom. From Balintawak to Pugadlawin, the Bahay Toro in his story, the call for independence was national, not just local. Conclusion beyond one cry. In the end, Santiago Alvarez reminds us that history is not made by one voice but by many. His version of cry, whether fully accurate or not, represent how deeply the revolution message traveled from Manila to Cavite, from Bonifacio to ordinary Katipuneros. It was not the location that mattered, it was the unity, the courage, and the cry of freedom that truly sparked the revolution.
Yun lang. Salamat.